Hello, you're watching our Daily V News and here are today's stories.
Party General Secretary Trong welcomes visiting Speaker of Myanmar's Upper House Khin and Myint. Vietnam and Thailand agreed to work more closely on rice exports and labor cooperation during meeting between Vice President Nguyen Doan and Thai Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra. Repatriation Ceremony of remains of U.S. servicemen who died during the war in Vietnam takes place in Da Nang.
Party General Secretary Nguyen Trong welcomed visiting Speaker of Myanmar's Upper House Khin Aung Myint in Hanoi on June 22nd.
The party leader hailed the fine results of the talks between National Assembly Chairman Nguyen and the Speaker of Myanmar's Upper House. He also said the visit to Vietnam by the Speaker will further promote the friendship and cooperation between the two legislative bodies and the two countries. Trong said he hopes Myanmar will gain more achievements in its democratisation, open-door policy, reforms and development. He expressed the wish to promote exchange and increase the friendly cooperation between Vietnam and Myanmar. Speaker King Aung Myint affirmed Myanmar's policy of attaching importance to further bolstering the close neighbourliness, traditional friendship and multifaceted cooperation with Vietnam. He said he wishes the Vietnamese people greater achievements in building a prosperous nation under the leadership of the Communist Party of Vietnam.
Laos Party General Secretary and President Chomali Sayason received a delegation from the Communist Party of Vietnam's External Relations Commission, led by its head Hoàng Bình Quân in Vientiane on June 22nd.
The Vietnamese party official said Vietnam will exert its utmost to foster the in-depth, effective and practical development of the special solidarity between Vietnam and Laos. The Lao Party and state leader highlighted the results of cooperation between the two parties' commissions for external relations, active contributions by the two commissions to promoting the Lao-Vietnam comprehensive cooperation. He said he hopes the two commissions will enhance exchange of information and increase mutual assistance to successfully implement each party's external policy, as well as coordinate to organise the Vietnam-Lao Friendship Year in 2012. The Lao Party, state and people will do their best to enhance the traditional friendship, special solidarity and comprehensive cooperation between Laos and Vietnam. Earlier the same day, Quang held talks with the head of the Lao Commission for External Relations, Tonglung Sisulit, who is also a Lao Deputy PM and FM. They discussed specific measures to implement agreements reached between the two parties and states and the content of the programme for the Vietnam-Lao Friendship Year.
Vietnam and Thailand have agreed to work more closely with each other on rice exports, labour cooperation and the fight against human trafficking.
This was decided by Thai Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra and Vietnamese Vice President Nguyen Doan at the reception in Bangkok on June 22nd. Doan said she appreciates that Thailand has accomplished, particularly in overcoming the disastrous flood that hit the country last year. She told the Thai PM she believes Thailand will become more successful in building a prosperous nation and playing an active role in the region and the world. The two sides were pleased at bilateral ties and the increase in two-way trade, as well as the higher number of invested projects between the two countries. Both agreed to conduct a second joint cabinet meeting and the first meet of the Joint Committee of Trade Cooperation this year to work out measures for better links in investment and trade. They also said they hope to soon sign an agreement on labour cooperation and the enforcement of gender equality, the expansion of education and cultural ties, including the opening of a Vietnamese language training centre in Thailand. The two nations agreed to work with concerned countries on a scientific study on the impact of hydropower plants on the Mekong River. Earlier the same day, Doan visited Kred Trapgarn Protection and Occupational Development Centre a shelter for Vietnamese women involved in a surrogacy ring before they were sent home.
The repatriation ceremony of remains of U.S. servicemen who died during the war in Vietnam was held at Da Nang International Airport on June 22nd.
The remains were recovered during the 107th Joint Field Activities from May to June this year. Those remains had been jointly reviewed and concluded by Vietnam and U.S. forensic specialists that they might be associated with the U.S. servicemen missing during the war in Vietnam and recommended to bring to Hawaii for further review. The search for the remains of U.S. servicemen missing during the war in Vietnam is humanitarian cooperation between the Vietnamese government and the U.S. government. This is the 123rd handover of American missing servicemen remains since 1973. Addressing the repatriation ceremony, the US government representative expressed thanks and appreciation for the steadfast humanitarian policy, goodwill, and the increasingly efficient cooperation of the Vietnamese government and people.
The U.S. Navy research vessel, the Roger Revere, docked at Tin Sa Port in central Da Nang City on June 22nd at the beginning of an 8-day visit to the city.
The ship is in Da Nang as part of a joint project to research the oceanography of the East Sea and the interaction between the sea and mainland. The joint initiative will be carried out by Vietnam's Ministry of Science and Technology and the U.S. Navy's Research Laboratory. During their stay, the 20 U.S. officers and sailors on board will run short training courses on oceanographic studies for Vietnamese scientists and researchers to increase the capacity of the country's oceanographic research and management. The Roger Revere is a modern research and survey ship equipped with the latest technologies and is facilitated by the Scripps Institution of Oceanography at the University of California in San Diego.
The Petro-Vietnam Exploration and Production Corporation and the London-based oil and gas company Perenco SA signed in London on June 21st a deal to explore oil in Peru.
This deal for acquiring 52.6% of Block 67 brings the number of exploration projects which PVEP has in overseas markets to 19 so far. The two sides expressed their delight at the joint operation. They said they hope the joint operation will be the first of many between the two companies, contributing to further developing their good partnership.
We were very impressed with the work achieved and done by the people from PVEP. Very impressive work, very good technical people. And this is the way it started. And then we found, it's a good partnership can be established. Well, we expect the first oil to be produced mid-year next year, 2013, July or August 2013. We are moving forward.
The expansion of PVEP's operations in the South American country played an important role in our strategy to reach out further into overseas markets. PVEP expects to see the first oil in July 2013 and produce more than 20,000 barrels per day in 2016, fulfilling the company's goal and contributing to meeting the national demand for fuel. Currently, PVEP, one of Petro-Vietnam's key companies, has 44 domestic projects in operation and 19 overseas in 15 countries around the world.
And that's all we have for today. Thank you for watching and see you next time.